Hello everyone, welcome back to Roll, and welcome back to my continued mission to try and break Roll before the patch comes out. The patch, I am told, is going to stabilize things quite a lot, and so when things get to extremes, they'll be less likely to crash, so I want to see if I can make it crash before that upgrade happens. So as ever, we're going to start with our early upgrading. Now, I'm going to try and be a little bit more patient today, and I'm going to try and utilize rerolls more by making one dice that is ideal, hopefully that will have at least a key on it and a reroll face on it. Sorry, not a reroll face, a die adder face on it. And then continuously clone that and reposition them all together in a grid so that they have keys and adder faces in kind of a great big chessboard grid thing. That's the loose plan I have in my head. On that dice that I want to make lots of copies of as well, I want to have shop refresh adders as well, because if we don't get passive hunter, that's going to be our main way of getting extra shop refreshes. Scavenger can also let you do it by getting a reroll every 33 rolls rather than every 100 for free. But I'm hoping to be able to get a good dice built, and then we can make lots of copies of it, and those copies will facilitate making more copies, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna finish building these dice, and then I'll be right back with you. Right, with 1999 rolls to go, we have dice. Why will you not let me look at you? Is it broken? I can flag stuff. Odd. I have a 96 and a 97, and none of this is +1, so I'm just going to worry about getting to the shop refresh. Getting there by 1999 rolls remaining is pretty good going. So we're going to get to shop refresh 1, and then pretty quickly skip over to shop refresh 2. A little too early for this guy, I think. We can pick up plenty of those at good cost later. So we're going to hop into our second shop upgrade. Then we're looking for a ×4 is good. So a lot of rolls to get there, but we'll stick that on the 97. Then die boost adder is not the ideal thing that we want. It does make dice that makes more dice, but only one of the other faces make more dice. So we will hold off on that for a minute. Now I want 6 times reroll, which is perfectly presented to me there, which is wonderful. I'm going to stick that on the center. Then I think from there we can actually move up to our next shop upgrade. And now at this tier, the thing that we really want to get before we worry about anything else is shop refresh adders and a couple of die refresh adders on the other faces. It's too early for you, Lock, there. We're going to avoid getting anything that increases our score at this point, because that's just going to make things more expensive, which then makes things harder to get, so on and so forth. If we get an opportunity to set all of our faces on that top die, on the scoring die to 97, we will. So that's that one there, and there's a shop refresh adder, and there's a 10x. So I'll take a 10x first. Stick that on the 96. Then we'll set all those faces to be 97. Then we'll buy a shop refresh adder. Put that over here. It's not going to make too much difference right now. Then I'm going to get 6 times triple reroll. Put it on that face that we're planning to duplicate later. Then I don't think I want any more of this. So now we're just going to continue looking for shop refreshes at this stage before we end up making stuff cost way too much money in the early game. Die Breeder Adder is very important. Replaces a die face of your choice with a Die Breeder Adder. Every 200 rolls, adds a new face with Die Adder on it. So that's the real good die breeder that we want to make copies of. Add half die quantity is also going to be really good for us, because we're going to add, hopefully, an obscene amount of dice. So we'll add another shop refresh over here. Then I'll grab another 10x for one of our 97s. And I'm going to get that re-rolling in triplicate as well to fund these two. So I'll take the one that funds us first. And already our scoring has become far more, I don't know if efficient is the right word, but swift, certainly. Right, there's nothing else here that I want to add. Got plenty of shop refreshers already, which is lovely to see. Now, I'm not going to screw around with glue yet, either. We don't need to move anything off of this face. We don't want the no weights bonus for scoring, we want it for rerolls. I will take a die adder face though. Stick that over there. Don't want any of those. Don't want any of these. So I will keep refreshing here a little more before we go to our next tier of shop. I don't know if we can find keys at this level though, so we might have to go to the next level to get keys before we can start aggressively trying to clone stuff. Or we could lock it now. If we lock it now, we lose out on our shop rerolls and our early die creation. But I think it's worth keeping the rerolls around until we can find dice, dice, dice. That's going to be important for us. So as much as I want that, we're going to hold off for a little moment extra. We need to find no 99s reroll. And we need, or no weights reroll. And more of the faces that we want. And doing that whilst rerolls are cheaper is going to be far easier than when they're very expensive. And of course I'm going to pass by something that I should buy, because this is the stage where I'm never paying quite enough attention. I concede that point immensely. Die booster adder is not great, but I think a 300 lock rather than a 500 lock at this stage we can make do with. And if we're going to lock it anyway, we'll get a die booster adder before we do that. Anything else I want to put on there first? I don't think so. So you're locked. Of course, we find another shop refresh adder immediately. I'm still going to buy it. Shop refreshes, rerolls are going to be very important for us, and of course, all of the rolling that we're doing now is contributing to unlocking our 300 lock. I really want the passives that we need. I don't know if the ones that I want are more likely to appear at the higher tier. We do want die breeder adders, so I'll buy another ×3 at this point for one of our 97s, excuse me. And this is 300k. We can't get any of the triples bonuses or any of that to work out. How expensive is this? 300,000. Not so bad. Kind of bad. Right, I think it's probably time to think about going to our next tier of shop. If we can't find keys or the reroll passives that we need at this stage, it might be time to move on. I might get no weights 100% because now things are getting more expensive in relation to our earning power. 160,000, still very expensive. There's our unlocked die. Now I want to find a key to put on those unlocked dies. And of course the passives that we so desperately want. So as much as we could buy a lot of this stuff, I'm going to stay grinding out for what we want. We can now sacrifice one of these to a 500 dice because we have something else to work with if we find other locks and such. Prime's an extra 500%. Could get us some more scoring, but I don't think we need it. There's a key. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing among this stuff that's going to increase our earning potential very quickly at this stage. So we're just going to have to grind out for this key and then hope we can get RNG to give us the stuff that we want after this is done. But 1.5 million without being able to up our earning potential right at this moment is a tough sell. And if we burn through this quickly and we don't get something going, we may well try again today. So we're going to stick you on here. Then we've got 14 rerolls to look for some of those passives that we so desperately want. And for other locks, of course. No 99s reroll twice is one of the things that we desperately want. We will lock this with a key on it. I will also lock this guy over here. Lock that guy there. Then fewer than 6 dice means nothing to us. I would love another die breeder, but for 1.5 million I need the 1.7 million no 99s double reroll as a priority. But now with so few rolls left, even once these locks break, I don't think we're going to have enough rolls left to make this work out. Especially after all this time having gone by without dice, dice, dice. Right, now what we want to do is... Do we have a lock? No, we don't have anything that can move stuff, so we're going to lock that. Lock this. Move this key to here. Die breeder adder is the one that we want. The face that we really want. $2.8 million though. I have not budgeted my score well. And there's no rates re-rolling in triplicate, which would have been great a while ago. 10 million. I haven't really accelerated my earning potential at the right rate here. So we can roll through this one and we'll give it another go. There's something beautiful waiting to happen here. Just this wasn't it. Alright, I will skip the early game, get into kind of a middle game, and then catch up back with you guys in just a moment. Alright, we are back. I had one run between the one you've just watched and this one that just went absolutely nowhere. But we currently have a group of 97s with a single reroll and some bonuses. This guy here with one die adder face, 3 shop adders and triple rerolls, but the really exciting thing is we have just found no 99s double reroll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest in the 3x, the 5x and the shop refresh adder, then get the double reroll. Then we can start thinking about looking for dice, dice, dice and locking stuff. Because once we have the no 99s double reroll, even the locked stuff will still re-roll twice, which is wonderful. Right, is there anything I can do right now to increase my earnings? Not really, not so dramatically that we're gonna increase our earnings by like a factor. Like adding the 59 somewhere isn't going to give us thousands and thousands more, unfortunately. I guess we could put the triple reroll on the times 10 there. Then we just have to spend however many rolls it takes to get no 99s double reroll. And then you look at how many rolls we have left and you're like, you can't do it with that, can we? Can we ever make this work? 18 shop refreshes is lovely. So let's look for a lock. And of course, dice, dice, dice. There's a lock. So we're going to lock this guy. It's mostly shop refresh adders, which is not ideal, but at least we should have lots of refreshes soon. Right, is it time to upgrade the shop again? Probably, right? So we upgrade, we reroll. We are now at maximum shop tier. So now we're looking for locks, keys, dice, 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 and face adders. There's a lock, except we have nothing worth locking right now, do we? Because this is locked. We could lock this just to get double our score, but that would be really dumb because the time this is spending waiting to be doubled, we're going to earn nothing. But what we can still do is just lock anything. And then that's worth 1 extra die to us for cheap. I don't want top 3, I don't want reroll, add previous bonus. There's a die adder. There's another one. Should have started building this die in a slightly more strategic place, but it'll be fine. Now I'd really like a key. Because getting a key and then being able to clone it and use it in other places would be really nice. I'm going to move some of these dice around a second. So you're locked, so really we want this here. So then we can put the keys in the gaps in between. So many shop refresh adders, which are not the thing that I desperately need. Right. It's almost worth locking you instead. Still not ideal. Still want dice, dice, dice. Still want a key. I think I skipped past the lock there because I don't pay enough attention. I don't need more shop faces. I don't need Passive Hunter, really. Or Passive Hunter again. Yeah, you don't want to give me any keys, do you, game? Or Passive Hunter again. It's mocking me on all the times that I've ever wanted to find Passive Hunter. Oh dear. I don't know why today I've gone in with such higher aspirations to try and do better in the mid game to utilize the late game, and I just can't get anything going. I don't know if something I've done has had an incredibly negative impact or whether it is just this RNG that's killing me. Hey, a key. Took its time, didn't it? How expensive is this key? 1 million. How expensive is the Yahtzee bonus? That's not... yeah. 535,000. So I'm going to buy the Yahtzee bonus first to then fund the key. Because all of these 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s should be rolling Yahtzees every turn. But now I've got no rolls left, and I don't know why I couldn't make this work today, and it's frustrating. The last couple of days, we've at least got into like the 1,000 dice plus, like 4-figure dices, but this just hasn't 99 shop rerolls. So in theory, we should just be able to roll until we find dice, dice, dice. There it is, 1.7 million. And add half die quantity. But now we're not going to be able to afford those before we roll out. Something I've done today just completely broke the system. And I don't know what. Alright, well I've tried 3 of these, even if you've just seen 2 of them. So I'm going to put this down for a bit, because it's perplexing. But in any case, thank you guys ever so much for watching. If you have any tips or tricks on how to get so many dice that your computer crashes, do let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.